Robert is 65. He spent more than 4 decades working, saving, and doing what responsible people are told to do. He built a solid nest egg, paid off the mortgage, stayed out of major debt, and sat down with a financial professional who told him the numbers looked strong. By every normal standard, retirement seemed like the obvious next step. So he stepped away from work. And for a little while, it felt great. No alarm clock, no meetings, no deadlines, no office politics, just freedom. Then the cracks started to show. Not because he made some reckless mistake, not because the market collapsed, not because he suddenly burned through all his savings in 6 months. The real problem was more subtle than that, and honestly more dangerous. Retirement exposed parts of his life he had never pressure tested. His routines were weak, his spending assumptions were shaky, his sense of purpose was thinner than he realized, and once work disappeared, all the things he thought were handled started falling into plain view. That is the part almost nobody talks about. A lot of people think retirement readiness is just a math problem. Hit the right number, eliminate the mortgage, maybe collect Social Security, and you're done. Simple. Nice fantasy. But retirement is not just a financial event, it is a full life transition. And you can be close on paper while still being completely unready in real life. That is exactly what makes this so risky. Because the spreadsheets can look clean, while the lifestyle underneath them is full of weak spots. And those weak spots are often what force people into regret, stress, or even a return to work after they thought they were finished for good. In this video, we're going through 5 warning signs that suggest you may not be as ready to retire as you think. These are the quiet problems that don't always show up in retirement calculators, but they can wreck a retirement plan just as fast as bad investing or poor savings. And if even one of these hits a little too close to home, that is not something to brush off. That is your signal to pause, take a hard look, and fix the issue before you make a decision that is much harder to undo later. Sign 1. You have never actually tried living on your retirement income. A lot of people assume their spending will drop once work ends, but retirement does not always make life cheaper. It often just changes where the money goes. You're home more, daily costs rise, new hobbies show up. Travel, eating out, and little reward purchases start adding up fast. And in the first years of retirement, many people spend more, not less, because they finally want to enjoy their freedom. That is where the problem starts. Someone may say they can live on a certain monthly amount, but their real lifestyle still costs much more. And if that gap is never tested before retirement, it can become a serious issue later. So here's the test. Try living on your projected retirement budget for a few months before you retire. Track everything honestly. Make sure the number works in real life, not just on paper. Because if your budget has never been tested, it is not a real plan yet. Sign 2. Your financial life still runs on autopilot. While you're working, a lot gets handled in the background. Contributions happen automatically, taxes come out of your paycheck, insurance and benefits are usually set up through your employer, so it feels like everything is under control. But retirement removes that support. Now you have to manage withdrawals, taxes, healthcare choices, and long-term planning yourself, and one bad move here can cost you thousands. So here's the test. Before you retire, start taking control of it now. Review your accounts yourself. Understand your tax picture. Learn how your healthcare will work. Stop relying on defaults just because they're easy. Because if your financial system only works when someone else is quietly running it, you are not fully ready to retire. Sign 3. Your relationship has never been tested for full-time togetherness. Work creates space. It gives both people structure, routines, and time apart. Retirement removes that almost overnight.
And that is where problems can surface. A couple can do perfectly fine for years when work naturally creates distance and balance. But once both people are home all day, small differences get louder. One wants activity and freedom. The other wants calm and routine. One wants to go out. The other wants space. What used to feel minor can start creating daily friction. So here is the test. Spend a real stretch of unstructured time together before retiring. and talk honestly about how retirement will actually work day to day. Discuss routines, privacy, travel, chores, social life, money, and separate interests. Because if you and your partner have never talked about what retirement will actually feel like, you are not planning, you are guessing. Sign 4, you have not set clear boundaries with family. The moment people know you are retired, assumptions begin. Adult children may expect financial help. Family may assume you are always available. Friends may start treating your schedule like it is permanently open. And that is where retirement can quietly start leaking money and time. One small favor does not seem like a big deal. Helping with rent, watching the grandkids, covering an emergency, then another, then another. Each one feels temporary. Together, they can completely change your retirement plan. So here is the test. Before you retire, decide what you will and will not do. Set limits on money, time, childcare, and emergencies. Have those conversations early and practice saying no now, not later. Because if you have no boundaries, retirement stops being your next chapter and becomes everyone else's backup plan. Sign 5, you want to leave work, but you do not know what you are moving toward. That is dangerous. A lot of people think being tired of work is enough reason to retire. It is not. Wanting out is not the same as having a clear plan for what comes next. And vague ideas like, I'll relax, I'll travel, or I'll stay busy, sound nice, but they are too weak to build a real retirement around. Without structure, people drift, the days lose shape, boredom creeps in, spending goes up because buying things, going out, and chasing distractions start filling the empty space. And over time, that lack of purpose can affect your mental health, physical health, and finances. So here is the test. Write down 3 specific goals for your first year of retirement. Real goals, measurable ones, goals that give your days direction, challenge, and meaning. Because if retirement is only about escaping work, the emptiness afterward can hit harder than you expect. So here is the real message. Retirement readiness is bigger than net worth. Yes, the numbers matter, of course they do. But numbers alone do not tell you whether your life is actually ready for retirement. Your habits matter. Your lifestyle matters. Your relationships matter. Your boundaries matter too. Because someone can look fully prepared on paper and still be exposed in all the areas that real life will test the moment work disappears. And that is the point most people miss. If even one of these signs felt familiar, do not brush it off. Take it seriously. It's much better to fix the weak spots now than to discover them after you've already stepped into retirement. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these signs felt the most real to your situation? If you are getting close to retirement or seriously thinking about it, share your thoughts in the comments. I would be interested to know which of these warning signs people overlook the most. And if you want more honest, practical content like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel.